Taryn Wright, the ethics partner from Wes Stevens in Durban, and I've been asked to please speak to you today about what ethics are. This may seem like quite an easy topic because you'll say to me, of course we know what ethics are, it's about doing the right thing. But it goes a bit deeper than that. And today I want to explore the non-accounting side of ethics, the non-code of conduct or code of ethics side of ethics. So I looked in the dictionary, and even Oxford versus Webster's cannot agree on what ethics are. They come up with different things. What they do say is that it's a branch of moral philosophy. And I trawled the internet, came up with the same thing, moral philosophy. But we're accountants. What is moral philosophy? So I looked a bit deeper, and I was fascinated to find that a sociologist had done a study. His name is Raymond Barnhart, and he did a study on ethics, but he changed it. He didn't say, what are ethics or what does it mean? He said, what does ethics mean to you? And I'm just going to read a few of the answers for you. The first one is, ethics has to do with what my feelings tell me are right. Ethics has to do with my religious beliefs. Being ethical is doing what the law requires. Ethics consists of the standards and norms of the behavior of our society and what society accepts. And one person said, I don't know what the word means. And when we then decided to ask a few of our trainees and people in industry what they thought ethics meant, we got it means complying with the code of conduct. Some said it's doing the right thing all the time. Some said it's that you can have different ethics for personal and business life. And we had to think carefully about that. And I then looked deeper into moral philosophy, and it's broken down into three different parts. There's meta-ethics, there's normative ethics, and then there's applied ethics. So I'm going to run through each of them just a touch, because it's a very short video. This is only an introduction. We are going to get deeper into it as the year goes on. I'm going to start with meta-ethics. So meta-ethics focuses on the theoretical meaning of ethics, and it talks about moral propositions. And it takes the line that, can we ever truly understand right from wrong? Because your truth is different to my truth. My ethics may be different to your ethics. So for instance, if we look deeper into this, most of us, especially in this profession, we can agree lying is wrong. We don't lie. Yet we tell our children that Father Christmas exists, and the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Mouse or Fairy. And for those of us who do allow our children to believe in these things, we are lying to our children, but that's okay. Or is it? There is no right or wrong. It's the same as a self-driving car. It has to be programmed what to do in a situation where it has to make a choice. Do you run over a pregnant lady, or do you run over an 80-year-old? There is no right answer. Both are very wrong, but the car has to be programmed to do something. How do you deal with those sort of ethical and moral dilemmas? And meta-ethics focuses on those big question things. And it goes back to the Greek philosopher Aristotle. And he said that ethics is the least precise knowledge that we have in any sphere of inquiry. And he believed that it was dependent on the habits and conditions of the time in that particular society. So it changes from time to ethics. Ethics changes all the time. Greek ethics from the olden days, like Caesar's times and all those, if you've watched some of those programs on TV, are very different to what we would find acceptable in society today. It was very hedonistic, which leads us quite nicely into normative ethics. Normative ethics is the study of ethical action. And it says, how should people act, morally speaking? And sometimes it's called prescriptive ethics. So there are various fields here. So I've only picked up on the main branches. The first being virtue ethics. Virtue ethics says it's about your character. And your character is your driving force for all the choices you make. And it says, well, if you're good in character, even if you make mistakes, you can still be considered ethical. Then you get stoicism, which is described that peace of mind is of the highest value. So as long as you have peace of mind and you're okay with what you did, then it's ethical. Hedonism, well, this is what I was talking about with the Greeks. This is about absolute maximization. of pleasure and minimization of pain. If it feels good, do it. What they're not considering is what if it's painful for the other person. If you think it's state consequentialism, this is about law and order. If you do this, then this will happen to you. And this is what we will do. And it's about punishment. It's about leading ethics through punishment and fear rather than the will to do the right thing. Then there's also consequentialism. And this is about the end justifies the means. Think of Robin Hood. He stole from the rich to give to the poor. Stealing is not right, but nor was the overtaxation of the people of the land at that time. It's about the end justifies the means. So there are a lot of people that believe this. Whether it's right or wrong, it depends on your society, it depends on your culture, it depends on what's happening at the time. Utilitarianism, that means that there's only one course of action that can maximize a positive benefit, and it's according to your personal preferences. We then get pragmatic ethics. This is the belief that social reform should be seen as above everything else. It accounts for your consequences. It's your individual virtue and your duty is to bring about social reform. Role ethics, these are community or family based. There is no rhyme or reason for this. It's based purely on the needs of that particular community or that particular family. It's emotionally driven. It's not based on anything that's written down anywhere. Anarchist ethics, these are based on 3 fundamental principles: solidarity, equality, and justness. There is no religious explanation of ethics that is accepted by anarchists. And then there's postmodern ethics. This says humans are messy. We are messy in nature. There is no right or wrong all the time. We have to argue that they are complex, ethics are complex, and it depends on what's happening at the time. And it's belief that you can't always have right and wrong. Things change. Which takes us into applied ethics. Now, this is what we see in our daily lives. And this is where we take ethics and we try and apply it to real life situations. We are accountants. How do we take ethics and make it real for us in our work lives? And it basically says that there is no yes or no answer. It's just one of those things. But you have guidelines and principles that you're guided by. So if we consider bioethics, for instance, we look at genetic mutations, we look at genetic engineering, we look at all those things. Those are bioethics. It's in the medical field. We look at business ethics. When we talk about our code of professional ethics, that is what we're talking about. It's business ethics. It is for our profession. It doesn't matter if you're a CA, a SAPA, a trainee. It doesn't matter who you are. Because you work for Ms. Stevens, you are bound by this code of ethics. We have relational ethics. This relates to therapists. They're bound by, especially, a duty of confidentiality and not to harm their patients. Military ethics asks the question, when should force be applied? We could argue some countries rush into military action very, very quickly, and others are a bit slow to react at times. And public sector ethics. This affects us as well in our daily lives because some of us do a lot of public sector work. So we do have to look at public sector ethics. So IFAC notes that business ethics applies to all aspects of business. So it doesn't matter if you're in the secretarial department or if you're in the tax department, it applies to you as well. It's everyone who works in an auditing or accounting firm, whether you're a SACA, SAPA, SEMA, even the cleaning lady has to be ethical. And it encompasses a range of laws and regulations as well as guidance. So it's a combination of things. So South Africa might have a different law to another country in the world, but we all have the same code of conduct or the code of ethics. We talk about tone at the top. And this to me is incredibly important. And that's why you'll find in our quality control manuals in particular, we talk about leadership. We talk about ethics and we talk about leadership. Because if the leadership is rotten, they always say the fish rots from the head down. And that's exactly what we're talking about. You need to have ethical people at the top level that you can report to and move on with. At a minimum, you'll need to know the code of professional conduct. And the 5 fundamental principles in the code are integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. This is what underpins our profession. It's what separates profession from a job. This is business ethics. This is applied ethics. This is the ethics that you need to know.